of more censorship, state propaganda being run through social media companies. We have here a story from NPR, shame on them, for calling for more state propaganda, government propaganda, to censor and curtail what they're calling misinformation. The article is titled, The U.S. Surgeon General is calling COVID-19 misinformation an urgent threat. U.S. Surgeon General Dr. Vivek Murthy, who has helped the U.S. through other crises like the Zika outbreak, is now taking on health misinformation around COVID-19, which he says continues to jeopardize the country's efforts to beat back the virus. What do they mean by misinformation? Do they mean information that's incorrect? Or do they mean information that didn't come from them and their official narrative? In some cases, he says, the simplest way to stop the spread is to not share something questionable you read online. If you're not sure, not sharing is often the prudent thing to do. Right. Okay. Every life that is lost to COVID-19 when we have vaccines available is a preventable tragedy, Murthy says. And then he gets down to the conclusion the tech companies have a much better sense of how much misinformation is being transacted on their platforms. And without understanding the full extent of it, it's hard to formulate the most effective strategies. So they want to formulate effective strategies against misinformation, but they can't because they don't have access to the full extent of how much misinformation is being transacted on the social media platforms. So the solution, one of the proposed solutions, he says, on tobacco packets, they have tobacco kills, he says. On social media, we need a Surgeon General's warning, misinformation kills. So again, I ask, is misinformation information that is not true, or is misinformation things that the Surgeon General or the government deem to be incorrect? The problem that I see is that we're headed towards totalitarianism, official narrative being controlled through technology companies. There isn't any protection for the user on the tech platforms. We don't have any user bill of rights, and there's no curtailment of censorship on the tech giant platforms. General purpose, large scale, publicly accessible platforms where our public discourse takes place. And as a result, the state is stepping in to tell us that we need to be protected from ourselves, from our very thoughts, from sharing information with one another. That's all I have to say on the matter.